Hello, you're watching Hexus TV. I'm here at Misco Expo 2010 and I'm talking to Dafydd Hollis, who works on the printer side of HP. Hi Dafydd.
Hiya.
So I want to ask you a little bit about the kind of technologies you guys are talking about here. I've got to be honest, printers, normally I sort of think, what is there to say from a journalistic point of view? What is there to write about printers? They print. But I'm giving you the opportunity to put me straight.
Okay, no, it's a fair comment. But I think we've got some real game-changing innovations to show at the show here today. ePrint is one of those.
Okay.
So ePrint is essentially connecting your printer directly to the internet and giving it an email address as well. So leveraging our experience in cloud printing,
indeed,
we can now make it so you can print directly, say from your BlackBerry or iPhone, and print attachments simply by email.
Right.
So you can email your printer directly.
And so I don't even need to start my actual computer up.
So you don't even need to start your computer.
And who wants this? I mean, it sounds quite cool, but where's the demand for it?
I think there's two spaces. I think there's a consumer demand. They just want to simplify their printing. They don't want to have to boot up their PC every time they want to print. They just want to be able to go to their device and print straight from it. So this enables driverless printing. So that's fantastic. There's also another side, looking at the corporate and enterprise space, is how many of the field sales guys out there now have a BlackBerry?
Yeah.
It's a small screen. You might want to look at attachments. What if you think, how good would it be if in a large office you've got the printer, you've got an email address above the printer, and you can just simply type that email address into your BlackBerry, hit print, and it prints straight out.
It's interesting you talk about sort of field workers, because not farmers, people in the field, because HP bought Palm a little while ago, and just yesterday I was writing about the latest sort of developments in WebOS, which is the Palm mobile operating system. And it actually mentioned printers when it bought Palm. That was a bit counterintuitive. I thought, okay, HP making its own tablets, own mobile phones, I could see that, but what's printers got to do with it? But these printers that you're talking about now, you can actually surf the web on them and all that sort of thing. Yeah?
Exactly. So that operating system and that experience is going to be really useful, particularly in the consumer space, where we're starting to see a bit of crossover between the tablet and the printer market. So if you look at our new eStation, you can actually take the screen off, browse the internet, use it like a tablet around the house, and then print directly from it as well. So
awesome.
There's definitely some integration coming between the two.
It'll be viewed as a sort of printer and little sort of PC or little computer combined.
Exactly.
And one thing that I think might be quite cool if I was in the field is if I could print to just some random printer I happen to find, let's say on a service station on the motorway or something like that. Is that going to happen in the future, like public printers?
Definitely. Okay. Yeah, so watch this space on that side.
Okay.
You could already use our ePrint solution to do that. We're just working on the billing mechanism to make it so you could do it as a chargeable solution.
Okay. Now we've got a question from Hexus's own Nick Hayward to ask you, but before we address that, are there any other things that you think our sort of viewers will be interested in terms of, sort of printing innovations from HP?
I would say, there's another side of things as well. One big area at the moment is really looking at optimizing your infrastructure and using your printers to do more things.
Okay.
So using it for applications like improving workflows within your organization to cut cost out, time and hassle. So one thing we're developing on all our enterprise printers is a common firmware. So you have one platform across all our printers. From an independent third-party developer's point of view, that really makes it much easier for them to develop software and solutions that integrate to our devices.
So people can actually sort of write apps for printers?
Exactly.
Sort of
So, and they only have to do it once. Whereas now you have to do it for all the different printers independently.
I see. Okay, that makes sense. In fact, that reminds me, you talk about all your sort of enterprise customers. 10, 20 years ago, all talk was about paperless office. That hasn't really happened, has it? Which is presumably good news for you. You've still got a job.
Definitely good news for us. No, that hasn't happened.
Why is that?
There's always a need to print. It improves readability, particularly with the likes of smartphones becoming so commonplace now. Screen's quite small. If you need to print something if you want to
Paper's just not going to go away. I was reading the paper on the way in, and I was perfectly happy to do that.
So you could look at ePrint now, our business apps on there. You can print your newspaper to take with you. So in the morning, just go down to your printer, not use your PC at all, just bring up your local latest news, just print it straight from the printer, take it with you.
Cool. Okay, so as I mentioned, Nick had a bit of an off-camera rant earlier. We won't mention who makes his printer, but he's frustrated with the fact that within seconds of putting in a new sort of toner cartridge, it's notifying him that he's nearly running out and all that sort of thing. Are all you guys just sort of ripping us off with the toner and the consumables?
I don't think so. Ink and toner is a highly engineered product, so there's a lot of work that goes into it. I can actually do a quick demonstration.
So people will be wondering why you brought your
lovely
milkshake with you.
So this is our Colour Sphere toner.
Okay.
So at the moment you can see that it's
powder.
like a powder.
Yeah.
operates like a powder.
Obviously a very fine powder by the way it behaves.
Yeah. So you shake it, and then you can see it.
Oh wow! So
like a liquid.
it's actually behaving exactly like a liquid.
And that's because the toner particles are engineered so they're perfectly round.
Right.
So they can roll off each other, and that means that you don't get any wastage left in the toner cartridge.
So every last little particle gets used.
Exactly.
Okay. And you think, I mean, you can buy a printer for like 50 quid, and then your toner will cost almost as much. Do you think that sort of end users and everyone feels that those relative costs are justified?
I think there's an interesting challenge for us. As a printer manufacturer, we have to hit certain price points out there in the market.
Yeah.
And you'll see that there'll be products aimed at, say, the £30, £40, £50 price bracket. And obviously you have to make some
I understand.
certain moves.
Because I would
those
assume that
markets.
the printer costs possibly more than that to make.
Exactly, yeah. So there are loss leaders.
Yeah.
And you might find that at the lower end of the spectrum that the printers are actually shipped with starter cartridges,
Yeah.
so they have a lower yield. So there's less ink in
But
it.
that's probably
So-
pretty transparent. This is just a starter cartridge.
Exactly, it will say on the box whether it is
All
the
right.
case.
Okay, well that's brilliant. Thanks a lot for your time, Dafydd.
Okay, no problem at all.
So I was talking to Dafydd Hollis from HP's printer division. You've been watching Hexas TV.